Welcome to Season 4 of My Wife the Dietitian, a fun, evidence-based weekly podcast about nutrition and healthy living. On today's show, we take a look back at 2025. We covered a lot of ground this year and are grateful for all of the guests that joined us, as well as all of you, our dedicated listeners. Join us as we take a final look at the past year and prepare for the year ahead. Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Rob.
How are you?
Good. It's our last episode, like our Monday episode for 2025.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were going to say 2024. This threw me for a loop.
I know.
It's like
Time
we're a
does
whole
fly.
year ahead of where I thought we were.
Yeah.
Time sure does fly.
It totally flies. It's
Oh,
crazy. Yeah. And this is going to be a bit of a year in review, like our wrap up of 2025 and our guests that we had and some themes that emerged throughout My Wife the Dietitian podcast over the year.
Mm-hmm. I love this kind of stuff. It's kind of like the Cole's Notes. Not that we don't want you guys to listen to every episode, but in case you didn't, then we'll get you caught up here.
Yeah, and I'm going to mention a lot of them, so I don't think we're going to be adding every single episode to the show notes. With Spotify, you can actually load in the podcast and then you can search like for a topic.
Yeah, well, you can on YouTube as well, probably on Apple as well. On all of them, I'm sure you can search for a certain topic within
the actual...
Yeah, within our podcast.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay. Well, our podcast guests, we had quite a few guests. We had 17 over the year.
Wow.
Every couple of weeks. And one guest came on 3 times and another guest came on twice. And the rest all came as their first time. So can you guess?
I can't. I'm thinking, who came on 3 times?
And the men all came more than once.
I'm stumped already. Wow.
Well, ask the pharmacist.
Oh, of course. Our most latest guest.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dean.
Yeah. So we interviewed him 3 different times and we had great discussions every one of those episodes. Back in earlier in the year, episode 178 with Dr. Dean Elby, does diet affect medication? And then there was a subsequent episode, Ask the Pharmacist with Dean. And then again, recently we did another one, episode 207 with Dean, and a few questions from listeners, plus a question from Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Tangent.
I always. I think it's really interesting too, and that's something that we've sort of stumbled upon this previous year, is just realizing that there are interactions between medication and food and things people need to watch out for, and surprisingly, there's a lot of stuff that people don't really know about. So that's where Dean fits in, and he's been a wealth of information. And I was actually just thinking of some questions for him yesterday that we'll ask on the next show, because the more we have him on, the more it just, more questions come up as you start talking. So I think it's really been a great asset having him joining us. So
yeah.
Look forward
absolutely.
to having that continue through the next year.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we talked all about medication timing with meals and snacks and different types of medication that you can't have certain maybe dairy foods with antibiotics, or iron. If someone's anemic or has an iron deficiency, what role do oral birth control pills play? And there's lots of different aspects to food nutrition interactions. And Dean has his pulse on the formulations in terms of new medications that are coming out or things that are changing in that realm. Yeah. And then other guest who came on twice was...
Oh, Andres Ayesta.
You got it.
He's always fun. Another wealth of information, but in a different realm, you know?
Yeah.
He's done his homework and then some.
Yeah, kind of like the extreme dietitian. That's what I think I want to call him because of the experiments he does on himself with different diets, and to kind of see what happens in his case, which the carnivore experiment was very interesting and a worthy listen for people.
Mm-hmm. And if you haven't seen his YouTube channel, check it out, because he's on there. I swear he's on there twice a day. I get updates from his channel all the time, and it's always just interesting, sort of myth busting kind of stuff, or just really, really good stuff that he's putting out there. So it's a very active channel, and he knows his stuff, and he's got a fun, just a good, honest approach to how he does stuff. And if, you know, like, he's willing to sort of admit he's wrong if he comes across something that, you know, he was wrong about. He's just trying to provide people with good, honest information that's backed by science and research and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the episodes with him with the carnivore diet experiment was the most recent one that we did with him, was episode 200. So that was really interesting. And then the first one we did was episode 175, and it was all about different diets and kind of the pitfalls and what happens to people's health on different diets. So that's a really good, interesting one to listen to too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just stuff. He's sort of, I guess you'd call him a social media dietitian. He's definitely tuned into what's happening with influencers, social media trends, that sort of thing. So he brings that information to us most of the time when we speak to him. So it's good to be tuned into that.
Yeah. And actually, talking about diets, we talked to Anna Reisdorf, dietitian, episode 180 on the GLP-1 weight loss medications. Mm-hmm. That was a really, really interesting discussion. And there was some other episodes we did around GLP-1s and some of the, like a case study, some of the side effects that can happen for people. We talked about Ozempic teeth and Ozempic face and, like, you know, different things that happen when you're taking the GLP-1s, but also just kind of looking at it in a balanced approach. And interviewing Anna Reisdorf was eye-opening, I would say, in terms of just highlighting some of the myths out there around. I think some people are just like anti-GLP-1s and anti-Ozempic. And it was a good discussion with her about the benefits and some of the risks too.
Yeah, because she's a dietitian. Mm-hmm. So you're getting that perspective, not someone who's just pushing this and they don't know what they're talking about. She actually, I mean, has done her homework and
has a podcast all about it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, she's got guest experts on her podcast all about GLP-1s, and it's very comprehensive podcast. There's lots of good information on kind of all angles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely one to check out.
We also did a lot around family nutrition, prenatal and breastfeeding, picky eating strategies, and raising kitchen confident kids. Mm-hmm. So our guests include episode 160, Marnie Winans, a doula, and nutrition from day one was the episode, all about prenatal and breastfeeding nutrition. But we also talked to Sarah Garone, episode 188, all about picky eating strategies. And then, do you remember Madeline Berg, dietitian?
Yeah,
episode 190, diet culture messaging. Oh, that was really, really good.
What's the name of her book? Yeah, she has a fun book title. It's like, You Think I'm Fat or something, or you're something along those lines.
We also talked to Dana Dose, dietitian, episode 196 on family nutrition, and asked Amael what was a great reconnection with her after, 15 years. And we talked about raising kitchen confident kids with her. That was a good one, episode 199.
Yeah, just different perspectives on all sorts of different family nutrition related topics.
We also dove into some health issues. We talked to Andrea Hardy, dietitian, about gut health and digestion on episode 205. We talked about Beat the Bloat, episode 198, and constipation, like traveling. What was it, the title?
Traveler's diarrhea, that one?
No, traveler's constipation. No poop for you.
Oh, no poop for you.
Episode 193.
I love it when we can have fun with, well, just everything with the podcast. There's lots of opportunities to make it fun. It doesn't have to be serious. Even though it's serious information, I like that we can have fun with it and present it in a way that's well, it's fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, we can definitely poke fun at different aspects of bowel health. We all know that it's part of life. And just like that book that Andrea Hardy wrote, Backed Up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Another good title.
That is. We also talked a little bit about different strategies around health and wellness. Protein for breakfast was nutrition nuggets we did, and fiber and protein rich lunches was another one. Also breaking the fast, episode 171, and one on meal timing for weight loss was a good one, episode 181.
Mm-hmm.
And the dangers of skinny fat. So that was good. Episode 202.
Yeah, I think there's a few themes in there, I guess, as far as our messaging and, eating breakfast being one of them, eating more protein, I think, more fiber. I think that was kind of a recurrent message since day one, but I think we had quite a few episodes this year where we were discussing those ideas, and because there's a lot of trends, especially the fasting trend, and just confusion around protein, I think too, and then there's a lot of the low carb kind of like high meat kind of content diets where people are avoiding vegetables, it seems too. So, and vegetables and fiber, so just trying to set the record straight as far as what we should be doing in regards to that kind of thing.
Absolutely. And we did talk a little bit about longevity and strategies for health in the long term, because I think a lot of diet messaging is about losing in a short time period. Mm-hmm. But what happens to your health the long term? Yeah,
you're right.
So that's the whole thing with the GLP-1s or Ozempic that I worry about, because if you're not hungry because of this medication that's kind of stunting your appetite, and so you just don't feel like eating, that seems like for some people, oh, that's the ticket. I just won't eat. Mm-hmm. I'll lose weight. But if you're not intentional, you will not get those vitamins and minerals and important nutrition that your body needs to heal and recover and operate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So the longevity tips include that kind of information about balance, and we did one on blue zone tips. So remember the blue zones?
I love the blue zones. I think that was a great documentary.
It really was. Yeah. Episode 186, we talked about some takeaway messages from the blue zone areas in the world. And if you don't know what those are, maybe check out that episode. Also, longevity and exercise and balance, plus like getting a good night's sleep. That's a real foundational part of health. Episode 192, we talked about that.
Just basic stuff. But I think sometimes we get caught up in all the different ideas online and the new trends, and we sort of lose sight of what the basics are, and they work. They've been proven.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, we're just here to give you that reminder.
And then we did talk to Gina Warfield, dietitian, episode 185, on mindful eating and being more intuitive around how you eat, when you eat, how you're feeling. So that's a really good one to tune into too. And with Tracy Mann, dietitian, episode 178, we talked about women's hormonal health. And that was all about different hormone fluctuations in midlife and through the menopause transition, and how that can impact your appetite, how it can impact your body composition, and how it can influence your health overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, important information, because I think a lot of people maybe don't understand what's happening, and hormones kind of are responsible for a lot of the changes in both men and women, but especially women going through menopause and that whole change, right? And it's like you just don't feel the same. Your body isn't reacting the same as it used to, and what's going on. And so it's nice to have some information.
Yeah, and at the start of the year, we did one with Tony Toledo, dietitian, all about behavior change, and that was episode 158. That was a great.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, it was all about like thinking of that bridge and where you are, where you want to be, and how basically our future self depends on our habits today.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. She had some really good analogies and had thought a lot about just how to present that information. I think she's got like a psychology background too. I seem to remember that, because a lot of this stuff, it wasn't just nutrition, but it was some psychology, some kind of coaching type stuff in there, and really wise.
Yeah, public health. She has public health background and counseling skills, and she has her own podcast too that she's been doing for over a decade.
Yeah.
So real wealth of information in that one.
Yeah.
We also talked a little bit about different ways of eating. Like, do you stand when you eat? And how that might affect your digestion. We talked about healthy snacks, staying hydrated with food. We also did a ton of food ideas, meal ideas, nutrient facts. So that was like a lot of the nutrition nuggets, the little midweek mini episode. We covered stir fries. We covered sheet pan veggies, comfort foods like mac and cheese variations, great tasting soups. We talked about wrap ideas, high protein egg ideas. We did one on added sugar versus natural sugar. Oh, the cornbread recipe. That was a delicious one. And the black bean burrito was another one we talked about. Oh, and toasties. The best toasties to make.
Had toasties in a while.
I know. Those are so good. You got to get that little grill, right? That just mini grill you can get at a thrift store for like $10.
I see them in the thrift stores all the time.
They're just loaded. I think a lot of people have ditched their bread. I see toasters that are like free on the side of the road or toaster ovens. So I think it's a theme that people are kind of like not having as much bread. I didn't mention, but this was a really good episode too, with Brian Bento about.
Oh yeah, like all allergy-free sauces that his company makes.
Yeah, that was really good. That was episode 179, Getting Saucy with Brian Bento, because he does have various sauces that are formulated without any allergens. Because for people that have autoimmune diseases or ulcerative colitis or problems with food allergies. So that's a good one to listen to, and look up his website to look at those sauces that he offers, because they're pretty tasty. We tried the tikka masala one, and it was delicious. It tasted just like the normal tikka masala, but it didn't have tomatoes. It didn't have any dairy. There's no nuts in it. So it was quite allergy friendly.
Yeah. A great story too. I mean, he developed this because he suffers from a lot of different allergies and he loves food, and he wasn't able to enjoy food the way he wanted to. And so he found someone that could make these sauces and then marketed them. So it's a really interesting story and a happy ending. And he's got this great line of sauces, and he can enjoy food again. And he's hoping that, he can share his sauces and recipes with other people to, who have the same issues. So yeah, check that one out.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then some of the other beans, that was an old episode, but we did a dense bean salad, the DBS, Nutrition Nuggets 146.
Did you just say DBS?
Yeah, well, that was a trend on TikTok.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
okay, I'm like, did you just make
salad.
that up?
No,
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then edamame, like those little young soybeans that are so delicious for an appetizer or with your grain Buddha bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. And also the grains. So farro was a kind of a obscure grain that we don't hear a lot about. And we did an episode, Nutrition Nuggets 115 on farro.
Yeah, it's definitely something we've been trying a lot more of is different grains that we're talking about on the show here, and some of the different vegetables too. As in our newsletter, if you get that, we do a section called Vegetable or Fruit of the Week, trying to introduce people to some of the different fruits and vegetables out there that they might not be familiar with. And I was in the grocery store today and noticed a few more because we've done. I don't know. We're up 70 or 80. I have trouble every week trying to think of a new one to put out there. But I saw quite a few at the grocery store today, and then it forces us to bring that stuff home and try it. So it's good to sort of just see what's out there and try new things and add a little bit more variety into your diet. It's good for your health, but it's also just good to have more options when it comes time to eat.
Absolutely. And like pomegranate was one we did recently. Remember that? 148.
I bought one today.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Because, we will look at maybe cutting it underwater.
That sounds funny. Okay, let me just get my wetsuit on. I'm going to get the pomegranate ready. Be right back. Yeah, no, you mean in a bowl of water.
I said underwater.
I know. It just sounds like we are getting underwater with our pomegranate.
Sure.
No wonder nobody eats
pomegranates.
pomegranates.
Let's do the ice plunge with our pomegranate.
Right?
Yeah. New Year's Day. We also did a really good one on the comparisons of flax, hemp, and chia seeds, Nutrition Nuggets 126. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And on that theme, some other healthy fat foods like walnuts, Nutrition Nuggets 149. We did one on wheat germ, Nutrition Nuggets 136. The miracle addition to your cereal. It is very undervalued. That wheat germ is so good for you. Mm-hmm. If you can tolerate wheat and gluten, I encourage people to buy wheat germ because it's very inexpensive, but it's got a plethora of good nutritional benefits. And definitely listen to Nutrition Nuggets 136 for that information. Mm-hmm. It's well worth adding to your baking or your cereals or something in the day.
Yeah, it goes on my cereal every morning, along with all sorts of other things. But yeah, wheat germ's definitely part of the list.
Absolutely.
And look at me. I mean, I'm just like the symbol of health. What are you laughing for? Don't you think? Look, check this out.
You're so funny.
I know.
I can't see you.
You're so funny.
We also did choline. Do you remember that one?
Choline from the eggs.
Yeah.
The egg yolks.
Egg yolks, episode 206, and the kind of underrated nutrient that people don't really know about that is so key for prenatal nutrition. And a lot of people are not getting enough choline in their daily diet. And it's really important as folate for preventing neural tube defects. So it's really, really key for brain health. And we do need to include choline, especially if you're thinking of getting pregnant or growing a baby.
Making babies.
Yep.
Yeah, people do that.
But
sometimes.
Older people too. We all need choline, and it's important for our own acetylcholine in our brain, so those neurotransmitters, and also the phosphatidylcholine in our cells and membranes. So it's one of those essential, it's like a B-like vitamin, and it just hasn't really had a lot of airtime. So look at that one, episode 206. It's worth the listen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we also did one on Parkinson's, episode 197. Just some of the nutrition implications around Parkinson's disease. And Movember, prostate cancer prevention, episode 203.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good stuff.
So all those podcast guests that we had over 2025, we really appreciate them coming out, being interviewed, and discussing their topic and their expertise on the subject matter. It's been super valuable, and we really appreciate it. It's been great for the listeners, and we appreciate the listeners who send their questions in and have any feedback or contribute to ideas for the show. This is for you guys, and we are enjoying putting it out every week for you.
100%. Yeah, and our nutrition nuggets coming up in a few days. We are going to talk about some of the themes we discussed this year, some of the things that we're going to be looking at next year.
And some of the biggest mistakes that I see people are doing with their habits through the week and
approach to health.
And how it's actually affecting their health. So that'll be on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get stuck looking at the little things, and I think we need to take a step back and sort of look at health from outside the circle, outside the box, outside the whatever we're calling it. It's from a bigger perspective, and make sure that we're focusing on the right things for the right reasons. And so, yeah, we'll be looking at that on Wednesday for Nutrition Nuggets and helping everyone move into the new year on a positive foot, on the right foot or the left foot, whichever foot is your good foot.
Goofy foot.
The goofy foot, your good foot. Yeah. Both feet on the ground. Yeah. Something like that. Anyway. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be Wednesday. And like Sandra said, thanks for joining us this year. We really appreciate everyone supporting the show and sharing with friends and subscribing and liking and commenting, and all those things are what help us keep the show rolling. It's nice to hear your comments, but it also helps with all the whole way the system works on the podcasts and the social media and all that. So any kind of interaction that you can give our show is helpful for us. So we look forward to entertaining you and educating you all in the new year. And like I said, we'll be back on Wednesday with our Nutrition Nuggets. In the meantime, you can check out our website. There's lots of information there still. We do try to get some new things on there once in a while, and we will try to be adding some more stuff there in the near future as well. So you can visit that at mywifethedietitian.com. We still have our weekly newsletter. That's still a go. You can join up for that if you haven't already. You can find a link for that on the website as well. And if you have questions, we love answering our listener questions. We usually turn a question into an episode and discuss it on our show. So feel free to email us your questions, mywifetherd@gmail.com. And like I said, you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Feel free to reach out to us there as well. We love hearing your comments and your feedback. And like I said, it helps the show. So we appreciate if you do that. You can also rate and review the show. That's another thing that helps us. It's usually a way to do that through most podcast players. So if you can do that for us, that would be most appreciated. And share with your friends. Another great thing that helps us along and obviously helps your friend find a new show. So that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed our look back at 2025. And thank you again for being a part of the journey with us this year. We will be back on Wednesday with another little review and look forward into 2026. So we hope you can join us then as well. So until then, have a fantastic week, everyone. And we look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife, the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.